Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. Wildcard weekend is over and we are down to the final 8 NFL teams here in the divisional round of the playoffs, and I'm here on a Monday morning to give you an opening look at some of those NFL odds here for the divisional round. We'll start it off on Saturday afternoon, where the Baltimore Ravens going into New England to play the Patriots in this one. The Patriots come in as a 7-point favorite, total of 47.5. Of course, the Ravens pulled off the upset against the Steelers, minus Le'Veon Bell. Really took it to Ben Roethlisberger, and that defense looking good last week. If they can continue that, could be a very, very interesting game. However, if the Ravens revert back to their old ways on defense from the regular season, New England should have no problem covering this spread here as 7-point favorites. They've had a week off, obviously, to get healthy. Could be a blowout, could be a close game. These two teams have played each other plenty in the playoffs over the last couple of years, so they are very familiar with one another, so at least the Ravens do have that going for them. Next one and final one on Saturday evening is the Carolina Panthers against the Seattle Seahawks, and from CenturyLink this week, the Seahawks come in as an 11-point favorite, 10.5 in some books, but 11 points with a total of 40.5. You know, with that total, very high spread considering, but the Panthers, even though they played well last week, are going to be hard-pressed to get a win this week. They're going to need to control the time of possession and really especially establish a run game against that Seattle defense. Both of those things are going to be very, very difficult to do on the road at CenturyLink Field, but as it still stands, I still think the Panthers could have some value here taking points. If the line continues to go up and we continue to see 11.5 or even 12 points, I feel even better about Carolina taking points here. Moving over to Sunday afternoon, the Green Bay Packers are playing host to the Dallas Cowboys, who barely escaped the Detroit Lions in the wild card round. The Packers come in as a 6.5-point favorite against Dallas this week, total of 53, which is one of the higher totals of the week. Of course, Dallas did not play well early in that game and almost lost it to the Lions, needed a comeback win and some help from the officials in that game. Not going to be able to do that again against the Green Bay Packers this week if they start off that slow and play that badly. So Tony Romo and company really need to turn it around. As long as they can run the ball on this Packers team, I think they could have success establishing that run game, but it's going to be very difficult because, like I said, if the Tony Romo and the Cowboys are not on the top of their game, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are probably going to shred them for several hundred yards and several touchdowns. Last and final game for you in the divisional round is the Indianapolis Colts heading into Denver to play the Broncos this week. The Broncos come in as a 7-point favorite, total of 54 points, which is the highest total of the week. A couple of teams with defenses that can give up some points here, and we could really see a shootout between these two teams, or we could see a game that's around 20-14. Really can't tell. This is probably one of the harder games to handicap of the entire week, and right now at -7, even though there could be some odds value in this game, I'm not sure where it is right now, and my early indication is kind of just to lay off and see where the landscape goes throughout the week until you make a decision on this one. So those are your divisional round opening odds report. Make sure you check back later in the week for some line movement articles and videos between me and Dax. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.